All right. Well, I want to talk about something that I think is extremely valuable for for people to understand and to get to attain, and that is true happiness. True happiness. I would say that a little higher level than happiness is actually joy, true joy. Uh, the difference between happiness and joy is happiness is really one of those things. You can be unhappy, or you can be happy. It goes up and down, it fluctuates. But joy is really a constant. It's something that remains irrespective of what's going on. And I happen to be I'm a person who's happened to have had, significant challenges and obstacles and in my lifetime. I just have. It was so much that I had to realize I had to become a better person. It made me, fortunately, stronger and stronger, because I would have either been broken, or I was going to transcend it. And fortunately, I transcended my circumstances. It's kind of like, one of the shows that I relate to, I used to really enjoy, was Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David. And Larry David would always, have these things happen to him that really didn't happen to anybody else around, and people didn't understand how he always seemed to put his foot in his mouth, but in my estimation, he always had good intentions. He was just trying to be himself, not trying to hurt anybody. But his perspective on the world was just very different than almost everyone else, and he generally didn't feel the need to apologize for being himself, but it oftentimes caused problems. And I really enjoyed that show because I can really relate to that. That's not the source of all the things that, or maybe even some of the most significant things that I've had challenges with, but just those types of things where it's like, wow, this would have taken most people out, by now. Most people would just, a lot of people wouldn't have survived it, and so I think the reason I got to a point in my spiritual life where I started to look at, well, what is the reason? Why would that be happening? I just have bad luck, and is there a curse, or what? And it was revealed to me that the reason is because, number one, I could handle it. As they say, God will never, give you more than you can handle. But also because I said at a very early age that I wanted to be a master. When I was a child, I used to watch martial arts shows. Kung Fu was the main one. The man used to walk on rice paper without tearing the rice paper, and I was always fascinated with mastery of whatever it is that a person was doing. I used to be really into magic, and I was fascinated with the masters of that. At the time, it was Houdini, and then David Copperfield a little later. But so I really believe that my prayer has that's one of the main. That's the main to be a master. What you're really asking for is to go through absolute total hell. You're asking for people to betray you who you never thought would betray you. You're asking for people, friends, family, to disappoint you that you never thought would disappoint you. You're asking for isolation in a lot of ways. You're asking to be, just by virtue of, as you get better and better at whatever it is you're doing, there's going to be fewer and fewer people that you're going to be able to relate to, or that are going to be able to relate to you. and people are going to be intimidated by you, and people are going to be in all types of things that you didn't know and didn't think that you were asking for. But this is the process of self-mastery. Now I realize that may cause some to say, hey, well, to hell with self-mastery. I don't want to master myself. I don't want, any parts of that. But it's interesting because throughout, I've always known, no matter what I was going through, I've always known that I still had more joy than the people that were around. I mean, I've had people literally steal thousands of dollars, from me in business, and so seemingly they got over on me. They won, right? Well, depends how you look at it. See, because if I can walk away and still have peace of mind, joy, be inspired to go do something even better and bigger and really get stronger, and you're left with knowing that you're a piece of shit and doing something really shitty, and that's how you have to get your stuff. See, my confidence level is so high that I know I can do it over and over. I can do it again and again. It's nothing. But yours is so low that you feel that you have to do something maniacal. That really speaks to your low self-esteem. And that's one of the things I had to, one of the places I had to get to. But I really want to talk about joy and authentic joy versus this stuff that most of us are out here trying to get. Because I'm really saddened in a way for people that are out trying to grasp happiness and joy in material things and in relationships and in being competitive with and shady, and just in these different ways that we're told that happiness can be obtained. You see, I was actually reared I was reared by a mother who I mentioned in one of my previous videos, probably the first one, that I believe to this day is dealing with undiagnosed bipolar disorder, and extremely antisocial personality, and abusive, very physically abusive, verbally, just a horrific upbringing. And however, we had, relatively speaking, we had quite a few material. She was and still is totally obsessed with the material world. I spent a lot of years trying to make a connection with her, writing her letters and doing different things to try to bare my soul, like, hey, Mom, this is who I, hey, but I remember one time just buying her a gift that my girlfriend at the time worked at a department store, and she got half off on everything that they sold, and so I bought her a gift from there, and that was one of the times that I've seen her just so happy, just literally shaking, and that's what that was love. That's love to her. It's material things, and that caused me in a lot of ways to really not really to really know that that's not where happiness is. It doesn't mean everybody likes nice things. Everybody, would prefer something, a comfortable home, a nice vehicle to be. Nice things are great, but that's not where happiness lies. It's not where joy lies. And I think this is one of the major confusions that keeps people trapped in doing things that they don't actually enjoy doing, in being in relationships that they're not actually happy in, and in not being able to be in touch with, not being able to be happy, basically, not being able to be, and it's very difficult to explain what joy is unless you, but I think that we've all experienced joy. Most have experienced it at least at some moments, but I'm talking about an everlasting joy, if you will, something that is not dependent upon the circumstances. And this really, the real secret there, again, is getting in contact with your authentic self. That's going to be the real difference. Realizing that there's nothing outside of you that can add more to you. There are things that you can enjoy. You can enjoy those things, but if it's not there, or if you don't have it at this moment or whatnot, it's not you. See, the main thing is detaching your sense of self from things. As long as we think that a thing gives us more value, then we're a slave to things, and we'll always be a slave to things. And no thing is permanent in the world. Everything will pass, and so will our happiness along with it. And even if the thing doesn't pass, even if the thing, you get the chair and you cover it like my people used to do a long time ago, plastic, and you do everything you can do to preserve the thing. Maybe tell people they can't sit on it and whatever. Well, the newness of it passes, very quickly. After about 3 days, maybe a week or two, you're not going to be as excited about that thing as you were when you first got it. And so maybe as the newness is passing, you say, well, let me call some people over to come take a look at this thing so they can reinvigorate my sense of happiness about this thing. When other people are admiring or envying or complimenting me on the thing, now we have to have a party so everyone can come over and enjoy, and tell us how nice our things are. Or we have to go take the car and ride, to go visit somebody so they can tell us, how nice the new car. Well, eventually, hey, it gets old to them too, and they're only going to probably tell you once, maybe twice, And so the point is that it's really a sad state of affairs for, I think, the majority of human beings, at least in this culture that I'm familiar with, the American society and culture, and I think probably Western culture is all pretty similar in that way, I think, which is an addiction to materialism, a real addiction to materialism. We make decisions about who we will and will not interact with based upon what they do and do or do not have, based upon our perception of what they have. And so this is really it's an appeal to have a paradigm shift, to encourage, inspire a paradigm shift in our definition of happiness, our definition of joy, our definition of the source of joy. To shift that from being something outside of us and something external to getting in contact and in touch with our authentic selves, who we are, and getting and going within more and more, as has been said, that